Healing chambers. What are they? Where are they? How can one connect? I have been using and accessing etheric healing chambers since 2015. I regularly visit my healing chamber for rest and rejuvenation and just to merely connect to a higher vibration when the world around me seems to be fully chaotic and falling down around me. When I visit my healing chamber, I undergo a recalibration and find myself back in balance, fully able to cope and go on with my life's mission. I created this class to help you to connect fully to your healing chamber. Thank you for purchasing this class. I hope it gives you everything you need and more. So I'm going to tell you about what I do to heal myself and to raise my vibration when I'm feeling either in pain or when I'm feeling my energy totally becoming depleted, when I'm feeling that way. So and I didn't know that people didn't know about this. And so I'm going to tell you something that I've been shown and that I've been taught through different things. Like I've had lots of sessions with QHHT and my higher self has shown me things. And I was taught some things, and I have some tools that to help me heal myself and to help me. Like, it doesn't always heal exactly the whole thing. Sometimes you do need to go to the doctors, because sometimes you need a little bit of help. It's not always like going to happen magic, like it's not going to happen. You're not always going to be able to heal every single aspect of yourself. We are in this vessel which is of lower vibration than our soul is, like our being, our essence is. We are here in a very dense place, and sometimes we can't totally and completely yet. We will be as we grow and as we raise our vibration and as we hold our vibration and as we go into it, but it might not happen in this lifetime. So if you are in pain, physical pain, and you need, what I'm showing you doesn't totally and completely take the pain away, allow yourself to go to a doctor. That's what they're there for. Like, go to a doctor and get some help, because we have that here too to help us. Doctors are not bad. Dentists are not bad. We think they are. They don't always, they basically just put a mask on top of things, and they don't, I don't even want to go down that road, what they do. But they can help you when you're in extreme pain, when you're in such acute pain that you're crying out and you literally are getting to the point where you could even take your own life because you're in so much pain. Please go and get some help. If what I'm going to be showing you next doesn't totally help you, because this is what I'm going to be showing you is a gradual thing. It's not something that works in an instant, and it's not something that can happen overnight. So go and get help if you need it to help you, and then start applying this every day so that you can then become in more balance. Okay, so what I've been taught is, for one, I run procedures through the transference healing, and I've many times come on and talked about how I run procedures, and the different procedures that I run are to help get myself into balance. and you can run these procedures too. I've done them in different videos and stuff like that. So, but what I really want to tell about today is I want to talk about the healing chamber, because I didn't know that a lot of people don't know about the healing chambers. So what I've been taught, and this is by my higher self, it's been shown to me by the Council of Nine, and it was kind of shown, it keeps getting shown to me every time I go in and do some kind of regression therapy kind of thing. I get shown that to bring myself back into balance and to heal myself, I need to go into it's an etheric healing chamber. Now, I don't know if everybody has the same healing chamber or if we all have different healing chambers, because I've been shown that the healing chambers sometimes can be it's in an etheric level, and sometimes it could be kind of like on ships of higher vibrational beings that are kind of hovering around the earth at the moment. And sometimes these healing chambers are actually in the inner earth. And when my arm was broken and I had a huge amount of pain, and I had a huge amount of nerve damage and all kinds of stuff, because I had to have surgery because my arm would not heal. Literally my humerus kept coming unhinged, which meant that the bone, every time it started to kind of like seal together, if I started doing something like raising my arm up into the air, it would literally like snap back and it would kind of come off like it would come unhinged, so it wouldn't heal. So I had to go and I had to get the doctor to literally help me put that bone back together, because I wasn't able to do it etherically or anything like that. And so I took that help that the doctor gave me, and I went in and I had the surgery to put a plate in my arm so that I could finally totally and completely heal. But during the time that I was there, during the time that I was sitting there, I mean, like, I'm telling you, I broke my arm in Christmas Eve of 2015. And I'm trying to think how long, going into May, so that would be January, February, March, April, May. For 5 months, I could not lay down in a bed, because every time I laid back, my arm came unhinged. And it was so excruciating and it was so painful that I literally had to sit and sleep sitting up. So I had a spot on the couch, and my son had teddy bears, and I would put the teddy bears around here to try to like get some sleep, because I was literally in a sitting up position. And it kind of like, and I had a sling on, and I ended up kind of like stuck in a position because I was in this sling and I was in this position for so long that I tend to, now I'm still working on trying to get my posture back, because I am slouching, and I was a natural sloucher anyways. And so during that time, 5 months, I was in excruciating pain around 24/7, and I was taking anti-inflammatories, and nothing really was doing it. Nothing was taking that pain away. I was so swollen. This is before the surgery. And I had been listening to different channelers and things like that, and they were talking about these healing chambers that the Arcturians and Andromedans and different beings have to help us heal. and that all we needed to do was ask to be placed in a healing chamber while we rest, or while we sleep, or while we're trying to repair ourselves from physical pain. And I was shown that all you need to do is ask them. Now, it was your etheric body. Now, it's not your actual physical body that gets taken to this chamber. So, every single night, I asked the Andromedans and the Arcturians, or whoever was out there, could you please take me to the healing chamber tonight and help me heal? And I did that every single night for 5 months straight. And then when I had the surgery, everything was a little bit better. I was able to lay then. I was able to actually lay down after the surgery because I wasn't coming unhinged because the plate was holding it in. And I just kept asking to be taken to the healing chamber to heal this, to heal this, to heal this. And you have to trust that this is happening. You don't actually see it happening. You have to trust that you're being taken care of. And I went in every night before I went to sleep. I asked to go to this healing chamber. And a week after the surgery, I went to the doctor's, and it was kind of like the dressing change where I think I had like dissolvable stitches in my arm, but they still had to look at it, and they still had to see how it was, like they had to check my wound. I think it was like a week after, it was like 1 week after the surgery. So I went in, and the nurse was we were all having chats and everything, and she was like chatting away, and she takes off my dressing. And she says to me, "Robin, when did you have your surgery?" I said, "Last week, like last Monday or something like that." And I think this was like a Tuesday. She's like, "Oh my God." She's like, "This looks like the healing of a wound like of a surgical wound. This looks like it was like 12 weeks ago that you had the surgery, not 1 week ago. The healing is huge. Like, I've never seen anybody heal like this." And she literally was so astonished by it that she went to get the doctor who did the surgery. Now, this doesn't happen in Ireland. The doctor doesn't show up and look at your wound after surgery because they're very busy. They have tons and tons of patients. And so unless, like, they need to look at it, like if something's happening and they need to go in and do more surgery or whatever, that's the only time they'll come and really have a look. So she goes, "Wait now here," before she covered it back up again. And she goes and she gets him, and she takes him out of wherever it is he was. I don't know what he was doing, if he was doing consultations or what he was doing. And she brings him in, and she says, "You need to see this." And he looked at it and he was like, "Oh my God, that's really good work. I can't believe I did that." And it was so funny because I was laughing inside going, "Oh yeah, we know really what was going on there." I went to the healing chamber, and the beings of light, they did some extra healing on it. And so then I just kept doing that, and I kept asking for this healing, and I just kept going and doing it, and I healed very rapidly after that. And so I think that was like in June, and then July, August, September comes, and I would be going to physio, and I just kept asking to go to this healing chamber. And then I just kept going and doing my physio, but I topped it up. I used the swimming pool on top of it. So I got these, like, in the end, when I was doing aqua aerobics, and I was moving my arms, and I was doing all the stuff to try to get strength back into my arm, try to get movement. My elbow was totally stuck, so I couldn't even open my arm out all the way like you normally would, and I was very restricted in movement and all this. And I was told at the beginning of my my physical therapy that they would be happy if I got even like 50% of my movement back, and that I probably would never, like I broke my wrist as well, and that I would probably never ever ever get it to a stage where it was before that I broke my arm. And I was determined, because I'm a sculptor and I'm an artist and I work with clay all the time, and I was like, there's no way that I'm going to let this stop me from doing what I love to do. And so I just kept asking to go to this healing chamber, and I just kept saying, please help me, please help me. But I also helped myself too. I didn't just ask to go to the healing chamber. I also helped myself as well by going and doing, not only attending the physiotherapist, but also going to the swimming pool and incorporating ways like doing aqua aerobics and moving my arms. And then I even bought resistance things they're like these, they look like weights, but they're not. They're all foamy kind of things, and you go into the water, and when you're moving your arm up and down inside it there in different ways, you're getting a resistance of the water. And I was doing that, and it was little by little, it was opening up my arm, and then like it was all in here was just like working it, giving it strength and giving it movement. And I went into the physio in September. I had been going to physio the whole time, and then when I went in September, the physiotherapist was like checking me. He was like, okay, like put your arm up in the air and go like this, and like put your arm down and go over here and then go up and down. Let's see what kind of like movement you have. And I was like, look what else I can do. I can bring my arm back like this. Like, this is a person that was totally stuck like this. I could bring my arm up like this. And he looked at me and he goes, You've well surpassed anything that we ever thought that you would be able to do. I don't think you need to come back to physio anymore. And then he said to me, he goes, and he looked and he did some tests on my arm and reflexing and all this stuff. And he said, and at that stage, all I had was nerve damage left. And of course, my elbow was locking every now and then. It wasn't like totally like coming out. And he said to me, he goes, I believe that if you keep doing what you're doing, it'll be like back the way it was before this ever happened. And he said, I think by Christmas time, you should be pretty much on the road to recovery, which would have been a year after the event. And so I left, and so then I was like, okay, I'm left with this nerve damage. And this nerve damage was literally, I'm getting to the story, sorry, I'm taking a long time. This nerve damage was left inside. It was really bad. So it was going, because when I had the surgery, he must have cut a nerve. They have to, like, to get the plate in or whatever. And the nerve damage was going down my arm, into my hand, all the way down in through here. And it was driving me crazy. After a while, I don't know if you have ever had nerve damage, you will know what I'm talking about. It just totally and completely drove me bonkers. And so a friend of mine suggested maybe you should do some acupuncture. So I was game for it. So I went in September, or was it October? Yeah, it was in October. I started going and I started having acupuncture treatments. And she was basically, she was helping me get my arm unstuck a little bit more, and she was trying to work with the nerve damage, and so she was putting like a little TENS machine inside with the needles to help me wherever I was having the nerve damage pain the most. And this went on for like five treatments. I think this was in a series of like, it's going into November. And when I went, I think it was the 5th or the 6th time. It was right when, I know when it was when President Trump became elected as president. And I went in, and I remember talking to the acupuncturist, and I said to her, I'm a little bit worried and concerned about this whole American election because I don't know what's going to happen. I said either way, it just didn't seem like there was a positive out of it. And I didn't know what was going to happen. And so I was just kind of a little bit concerned. And she looked at me and she said, everything is going to be fine. Don't worry about politics. Don't worry about what's happening in the world. And she said, you are coming here to heal to help heal yourself. And so I want you to take this time that you have while you're here and go to a happy place. And that's all she said, was just go to a happy place and allow yourself to heal. So she leaves the room and she leaves the music on. I don't know if anybody's ever gone to an acupuncture treatment. They get you all set up and then they go away. And they come back like 20 minutes later or something. And then they take the needles out and your treatment is done, kind of thing. And I'm sure that's not all they do, but that's what it works. That's how it works or whatever. So I'm laying there. And I was like, I gotta go to my happy place. So my happy place is, I think of a place that where when I was little, when I grew up, I have a special happy place. It's up at a place where when I was a child, we had a camp. And I loved it there. It was my happy place. And my happiest place was in the water, swimming in the lake. And so I went to my happy place, which was like on the side of the water, on the edge of the water. And all of a sudden, out of the sky came these two almost like big huge like hawks or something, like big huge like birds that started coming down towards I saw this, like they were like, then they vanished off into like black dots. And then the most amazing thing happened that I never ever expected. These beings, they were blue. They were very, very, very tall. And I don't know what they were, but all I know is, at that time I didn't know what they were. I do know now. They're the Council of Nine. They're the beings that are part of my higher self, part of my guides. They came down. There was 3 beings on each side of me, and they were hovering over the acupuncture table. And the energy, the feeling of love that I got from those beings was something that I've never felt in this lifetime, ever before. I was overcome with this feeling of all is well, everything is going to be okay. There's nothing to worry about. And they looked at me and they asked me through telepathic ways, like they didn't speak it, they asked me, would I like them to do a healing on me? And I was like, by all means, I'm here already, I'm on the table, you might as well, whatever you want, whatever you can do, you have my permission to help me. And so they proceeded. They had very long fingers. And I don't even think that they had 5 fingers like we do. I think it was like 3 long fingers and a long kind of thummy kind of thing. There's a bumblebee flying around me. And they started they started massaging and shooting out balls of green energy. They were full of light, and they were going like this with their hands over me, over the top of me, and they were kind of like massaging it all the way around my auric field. They were adjusting me. They were infusing me with this green energy, this green light. And then as they were doing the treatment, they became less visible. So as they were working and they were infusing me with this light, they themselves started to kind of disappear. But as they were kind of like going up farther away, this green energy was expanded all over. It was like I was left in this like bubble of green energy light. I was being totally and completely infused with this. And I asked them, I said, please don't leave. I didn't want them to leave. I knew they were getting ready to leave, and I said, please don't leave. And they said to me, we have always been with you, and we will never leave you. We are a part of you, and you are part of us. And all you need to do is call on us when you need us, and we will always be here to assist you. We will never leave you. We are here. And then they left, and I later found out that they were the Council of Nine when I did a regression treatment. And I found out that they are the beings that they're part of my higher self, and they work with me to help me do my mission. My mission is an activator. I'm here to help activate people through the artwork that I create. And they're always here. They're always here, and they never leave me. They're always here. And so even afterwards, after that, I kind of left and I went for like the next, I was like in this bubble of green and this peace that I have not felt the whole time I've ever been alive on this planet as Robin Nicole. And every time I closed my eyes for just a second, they were there. They were there in front of me, and they still are. They're still there. And I believe that this Council of Nine is part of the inner earth beings. At first, for the longest time, I was trying to figure out where they came from. Were they from a planet? Are they from Source? I don't know where they came from. And as the years have gone by and different things have happened, I think I'm learning that I think they're coming from the inner earth, and I think they're Lemurian. Or they could even be Lyran, like right back from like the original place, because I know that my builder race is Lyran. And so maybe that they're part of me from there, I don't know. But I also know that I've lived in many places, and I've fractalized. It's like it go into a quantum thing here. I'm fractalized into all different places, so I don't really know where they're coming from. But I feel like they're coming from the inner earth, because I've been taken to the inner earth an awful lot. And then I'll go in and I'll explain that now next. But before I go in to explain that, I want to tell you that I went back about, I think it was a week or 2 weeks afterwards, I went for my acupuncture treatment again. And I got ready, and she was getting the needles ready, and she was trying to set up, she was doing an overall thing for me that day, because I had some other ailments, not just my arm. And she was getting ready to put the TENS machine on my nerve damage. And she was like, where are you feeling it today? And I realized right then and there that there is no nerve damage. It's gone. So I don't know what they did. I think that when they were infusing me and recalibrating, they did something to take away the nerve damage, because it's never come back. And that was in 2016. We're now in 2020, and it has never come back ever since that day. So that's amazing in itself. And so then I just want to go in and I want to talk about the healing chamber that I actually have been shown. So I actually have a healing chamber. So when you, what they're showing me, the tool is to go into this healing chamber. And my healing chamber has evolved. So at first it was, I asked to go into these healing chambers that were outside the earth, that were on ships of higher beings. And so that's where I started. And then when I was in acute pain and needed really help. And now I have this Lemurian crystal that was gifted to me by a friend. And I was told in a regression session a couple of years ago in 2018 that I would acquire a Lemurian crystal. And I wasn't allowed to buy this Lemurian crystal, and I wasn't allowed to like go find it, that I would just be acquiring it. And that I was told that this crystal held my Akashic records and held everything that I need to know, because when I lived in the time of Lemuria, I actually infused this exact crystal with everything that I need to remember whatever it is that I'm supposed to remember in this lifetime, and to help myself, and to start using this as a healing tool. I'm just watching because I'm not the only one here, and there's like little dogs and stuff coming around. And so I feel like I'm being watched, and I don't think it's human beings at the moment. It's like out of the corner of my eye, I just looked over there, and it was almost like there's fairies or something watching me. I don't know. It could be crazy. Like maybe, no, I'm not crazy. I'm not, they're there. They're watching me. They're kind of inquisitive as to what the heck I'm doing here. They're enjoying me. They love this crystal. And I've been taking this crystal around this forest and infusing light into the forest floor. So maybe they're like all excited because I picked it up, and they're thinking she's going to go do the infusing thing. I'm going to do that, guys, in a little bit, but I'm still talking to my humans here. And so they taught me inside my crystal there is a triangle, and there's like a little nudge here inside, and I don't know if you can even see it. See that like triangle? It's like a pyramid. Inside, I'm trying to get the light to hold it, so right near where my finger is, there's a triangle inside. And I was shown, when I was in meditation, to literally rub this area. And then all of a sudden I was taken, had my eyes closed, and I was taken into the inner earth. Like there was like this tunnel. And I was taken very quickly into the inner earth. And there was a healing chamber that was a pyramid. And at the time when I was shown it, it was full of green. I think it was full of green light that day. I'm trying to remember, because sometimes the light changes. It depends on whatever it is that I need. I think it was green. No, was it blue? I can't remember. But the first day that I went into the chamber, it was a color. I think it was blue, now that I'm thinking back. Might have been green, but I think it was blue. Because I needed to be infused with blue for some reason. I don't know at that stage. So when I got to the chamber, all of my guides and all these beings of light were there. And they showed me that that's my home. That's where my family is. That's where I come from. That's where I am. And that's where I need to go. So every time I need to come and I need to recalibrate myself, I just go in, I rub this and I go into my healing chamber. And sometimes I see it, and sometimes I just, now, like when I'm doing it now, my healing chamber, I just see a pyramid in my third eye when I close my eyes, and I know that I'm in my healing chamber. But that time, it was very distinct because they were showing me my healing chamber. And I don't know if everybody has a healing chamber like this, or if you can ask for it. I don't know. Everybody might, everybody's different, so their vibration is different, and they might need something different. So your healing chamber could be in a different place from where my healing chamber is. But the Council of Nine was there. And I know they were there because I saw them. And I saw them in a regression session when I was told that that's who they were. And they're the same beings that came over me the day I did the acupuncture treatment. So I know that that's who they are. At first I thought they were the Andromedans because I had been asking to go into their ships. And I thought that they could be Arcturians, but it wasn't. It's these beings. It's called the Council of Nine. And I think that for some reason, I think that they're inner Earth Lemurian type. They're like, or I don't know, I'm feeling that they're Lemurian, or it doesn't really matter what they are, is what they're saying. They're there and they're part of me and I'm part of them. And so I go into the healing chamber every time I go into meditation or whenever I want to be recalibrated, and I just ask my guides and ask them to just infuse me with whatever it is that I need to recalibrate myself. And every time I do this, it works. And I feel like balanced and everything, and all is well. So I just wanted to tell you guys about the healing chambers. So that was a very long-winded thing about the healing chambers, but they are there and they do exist. And if you're in extreme pain and you need some help, by all means, go to the doctors and get help that way. But maybe try asking to go into one of these healing chambers. Now, it doesn't work overnight. Like I told you, when my arm was broken, it took months for that to work. And then then finally the beings came down. So that was it was in November when they finally came down and showed themselves to me and gave me a complete and full healing. So don't think that they're not there and that they're not helping you because nothing's happening. Because if you just keep persisting and keep asking, they will eventually be there and they will eventually help you. You're not alone and you're loved. And you would not be put onto this earth and just left here. That's what they're telling me, that you would not be just left here to fend for yourself, that they're always, you're never alone, and they're always here, and they're always here to help you. I now offer private sessions where I bridge people to their healing chambers, and I try to empower and show them how to access their healing chamber after the session is over. In the meantime, I would like to connect you to an etheric healing chamber located inside the inner earth in a place called Avalon. Take a moment to allow yourself to breathe fully through the heart space. When you take your deep breath in, I ask that you fully connect it to and guide it towards your heart. And then hold it for as long as you can hold it. And then when you breathe out, let go of anything that may be bothering you at this time or anything that's on your mind. So take a deep breath in and breathe out. Take a deep breath in breathe out. Take a deep breath in. And breathe out. Now I would like you to think of a time when you felt fully and completely loved, unconditionally. Or when you gave love fully and completely without any conditions. Hold this memory inside your heart. Hold this feeling that you feel. Allow it to fill up your heart space. Now I would like to ask you to send this love, this feeling that you have inside your heart, out to somebody who you feel needs this love right now. Now send it all the way out over your community, over the town or the city that you live in. Watch this blanket of love go all over the area, all around the people that live in your community. Now, we're going to send this love all the way around the globe of our blue planet, the blue globe that we call Gaia. Send that love all the way, allow it to surround and blanket the earth. Now, I ask you to send this love all the way out to the cosmos, to all the planets that exist outside of our Earth and even our universe, places that you wouldn't even know existed. Send this love all the way to the cosmic heart of the universe. Now, send this love fully all the way up to the great central sun. All the way up past the great central sun where the Creator Source resides. The Creator Source is here, and the Creator Source would like to fill you up with the love the Creator Source has for you. Allow this love to fully and completely fill up your body and your etheric light body. Just take it in. You are fully and completely loved. There is nothing you could ever do or say that would make it so that you would not be able to accept this love. The Creator Source loves every single aspect of you and all of its creations. There is nothing you could ever do to be abandoned by this creator source. Notice there is a tunnel in front of you. This tunnel is a dark purple indigo bluey dark color, and it is filled with little light stars and orbs. Allow yourself to enter the tunnel just as slight as you would if it looks to me like a water slide. And allow yourself to slide in through the portal that's going to take you all the way down deep into the inner earth to a place called Avalon. Slide all the way down. And as you come to the bottom, you land in an area that is inside a forest. And you notice that everything seems to glow inside of this forest. Plants and the trees, and there's insects and bugs, and there's one that's kind of floating around you that looks like a jellyfish, but it's not. It's a little thing floating around in the air, and it comes down, and it allows you, when you put your hand out, to land on your hand. There is an inner earth being that approaches you. She is very tall, and her skin is kind of a little bit of a hint of blue, but it seems to be all lit up. She's full of light. And she's wearing a shimmery, white, silvery type of clothing. She is one of the inner earth beings, and she wants to take you into a city of light. So as she puts her hand out to you and reaches towards you, allow yourself to hold her hand, and she will escort you into the Avalon City of Light. As you get closer into the city, you notice that there's all these huts that seem to be all over the area. Some are up in the trees and some are down on the ground. And they are made of some kind of material that looks like they're see-through. They're domed shaped huts. And they look like they're see-through, but yet when you look inside them, they're full of light. But when you look through them, you don't see anything inside. And so they seem to be like a double-sided mirror. So you cannot see. So the people that are inside, they have their own privacy. And this being takes you over to what she says is one of the many healing pools that are located inside of here. She beckons you to allow yourself to go down into the healing pool. And as you walk into the healing pool, she comes over and she assists you with a cleaning ritual. There are potions on the side of the pool that look like they're potions, but they're actually healing balms and salves and oils. And she takes a loofah and she washes you and explains that we're washing you to prepare you to go into your healing chamber. There is a need to allow the denseness of the earth plane where you have been living and residing to be washed off before you go into the healing chamber. She also explains that this is something that you can also do, even in your shower, to consciously cleanse yourself and your auric field with the water as it falls down around you. Or fill your bathtub up with Epsom salts and allow yourself to have a lovely salt bath regularly. So now you're all washed and ready to go. She puts a nice white fluffy robe around of you and starts to escort you out of the healing pool. In front of you is a domed, it's not a dome, it's a pyramid-shaped building that looks to be like it's made out of crystal. She shows you that to enter this, there is no door, that you just allow yourself to walk through the wall. She does so by putting her leg and arm into it and beckons you to do the same. You find yourself inside the pyramid, and there is a crystal bed laid out in the middle of the room. And there is a nice white fluffy mattress on top of the crystal bed, and beautiful hand-woven soft blankets and pillows. Allow yourself to get onto the bed and cover yourself up with a blanket and get yourself comfortable if you wish. The Lemurian Star Mothers are here, and they're inside the room, and they're just getting things ready. Inside this lovely healing chamber, you notice all of a sudden that it starts to change colors. And it is explained by the Lemurian Star Mothers and your spiritual teams that when you're inside the healing chamber, your team will give you an etheric body scan and assess what it is that you need today. Every time you come to the healing chamber, you will need something different. And then they start putting light infusion that's coming out of their hands, and they start massaging you and your auric field with energy and light infusion. Today it's the color green. When they want to tell you that when they're using the color green, it usually means that you need some sort of healing, some sort of help in your physical body. And when the color green comes on, this is what they're doing. And now they're showing me the color blue. And they're wanting me to tell you that when they bathe you in the blue ray, that usually they're bringing forward truth and information, keys and codes to help you work through information in your mind. When they bring on the color red or pink, they're working with your chakras, your base chakra. But when they're bringing on the pink, they're working with your heart. When they're bringing on the color yellow, they're working with your solar plexus. So what they're trying to explain is when they bring on the different colors of the rainbow, it corresponds with the chakra that is needing help or adjustment. And just sit with the energies that they give to you. And trust that you will be given exactly what you need. They want you to know that you can come to these healing chambers anytime you wish. You can come when you're in pain and when you need to have some help and readjustment with the physical pain. And you can also come when you just feel like you need some rejuvenation and some rest. Or when you simply feel like You just need to come and be with them. A lot of you are on missions to help raise the vibration of the planet. And you're surrounded by very dense beings that bring your vibration down. Whenever you want to raise your vibration and just be with a higher vibration, allow yourself to come to this healing chamber. All you need to do is just say out loud, "Please bring me to the healing chamber today," either in meditation or even before you go to sleep at night. And your spiritual team will always be there to help adjust, recalibrate, and infuse you with whatever light you need. And sometimes you will be infused with keys and codes to help you with your missions. We want to tell you that you always have these keys and codes inside of you, and that we can't turn anything on that isn't already lying dormant inside of yourself. So just know that when you come to us, that we're just turning it back on for you when the time is right. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to spin the bed that you are laying on. And as we spin the bed, Metatron is here. And Metatron has some sacred geometry that he would like to give to you. Some symbols. So as the bed spins, the symbols are dropped in to your solar plexus. These are symbols of creation, creativity. Take these symbols and go out there and use them for good. It is time now to leave the healing chamber. We want you to know you can come back anytime you wish. We thank all of the guides that helped us here today. And when you're ready, wiggle your fingers and toes and open your eyes.